What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another weekly portfolio update. So sorry there was no video last week. There's two reasons for it. One is that I've been busy with my job and looking for a house. So I've been going on a bunch of viewings, going into agents. So yeah, I've been kind of trying to find time for that as well as work. I did put an offer on a property, so if that gets accepted, I'll likely do a renovation series because it does need a lot of work. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. Also, it's the second reason for like no video last week is as just because I've got no allowance left till April. I feel like the videos were getting a bit stale. Just me where there being no changes to the portfolio and me just showing you the changes in price. So if you guys don't care that there's not really much happening in the portfolio and just want to see updates, my thoughts on the week of what terms of what's happened in news in terms of the stocks I'm in, let me know. I can go to bi-weekly, which is what I was planning on doing, or if you guys are really up for it and want to see weekly updates, I can continue doing weekly updates. So anyway, that's it for the intro. Let's go straight into the video. So yeah, my current account value is £157,000, which is quite good because if you look at the Nasdaq over the last month, we're down 2.85%. So, and if we relate that to Tesla over the last month, we're up about 5.95%. So Tesla is holding strong, considering generally in times of when the market's going down a bit, Tesla does or follow down with a high beta. So yeah, there's lots of exciting things happening with Tesla, especially with SpaceX and the IPO. It makes me annoyed that I haven't kept my Google stock. So ages ago, this was a couple of years ago, I used to have one share of Google that was pre-split, so I'd have about 20 shares of Google now. And yeah, with the SpaceX IPO, Google, if you guys didn't know, Google owns about 8% of SpaceX. I think it was they did initially buy 10%, and then obviously dilution with like employees because Elon Musk doesn't pay the SpaceX employees like a lot in comparison to other companies, like if they were to work at Meta or Nvidia, but they do get very healthy stock options. And especially considering SpaceX was worth like 150 billion, now 350, now they're saying 800 billion, and a potential IPO of 1.5 trillion. So yeah, and that's a massive. And Google owns about 10% of that. I think it's a bit less, but after dilution. But yeah, that's a massive benefit on their balance sheet. When SpaceX does IPOs. So yeah, I'm a bit annoyed I didn't keep that. Obviously I did sell it for a profit, and I did buy Tesla with it when Tesla was in the 200s. So I have made money from not being in Google, but I wish I was still in Google, because Google has done madness since I think Google would be up over 150% from when I had it. So if we go on to I sold around October, September of 21. So I sold for about 150. If I kept it, it would be 100%. So pretty similar returns to me buying in Tesla. So because if we go back to Tesla over that time period, so it was about I think I bought around 340. So it would have been better for me just to leave it in Google. But yeah, you live and you learn. I'll probably will try and get back into open a position in Google when the new tax year hits. Just because it's Elon Musk was asked like companies that he'd invest in, and Google, Nvidia, obviously outside of the companies he owns, he did name Google and Nvidia of two companies where he was like, yeah, I'd invest in those companies. So yeah, and I agree. Those two companies, behemoths, like they're not going anywhere. So yeah. Anyway, guys, let's look at the portfolio. So currently, my Tesla position is valued at £155,000, up 68.28%. Got 457 shares. Nvidia, I'm down 15.91%. Got one share. Also got Robinhood down 3.05%. Got 10 shares of Robinhood, and Iran got 10 shares of that. I did buy, close to the peak in this one. Obviously that's why I didn't put that much money in, because I knew it was, a lot of it was momentum driven. I did kind of buy into the hype a bit, but that's why I kept the allocation very low. Like, as you guys can see, I only got 10 shares of it, so I'm not really too worried about it. That's why I didn't go any higher than that, because I was expecting a correction like this in the stock. So yeah, when I get my more allowance, or if I had allowance, I would be adding in now, but I don't have any allowance, so I'll have to wait, and hopefully it's a bit even lower than what it is now in April. So yeah, if we go into my portfolio, currently sitting at £157,000, and yeah, no ISA allowance. Use up all my ISA allowance for the year. Got a bit of cash, not really enough to do anything with, and then 157,000 investments. And as you guys can see, the majority of that is Tesla, and yeah, Robinhood, IRN, Nvidia. Other stocks I'd be looking to add is Google. I think mainly on their ownership of SpaceX. Like, I think a lot of people forget that they do own SpaceX and the potential, especially with, the Google CEO talking about data centers in space. There isn't, the sort of the same regulatory hurdles, and they can, push them out a lot faster, just going straight into space. Space is kind of unregulated. No one country has control over the land in space. So we'll see how that evolves in the future. It'll be interesting to see if governments start trying to tax space companies from putting data centers or satellites in space. That'd be an interesting thing to kind of follow, see if that's a future risk. Yeah, I don't see it as really a risk. Just because the governments have become, like governments like the US have become so reliant on SpaceX, doing stuff like taking astronauts to the International Space Station and stuff. So I don't really see that as too much of a risk, but is an interesting one to follow. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the portfolio update. Please let me know if you want me to go back to weekly, or if you guys are happy with bi-weekly. And also let me know if I do get accepted on this property, if you would like to see me do a refurb series on it. So yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on how that goes. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and yeah, just comment down below. Thank you guys a lot, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.